Okay, so today we got something a little bit different on the dyno. It's a 2020 Toyota Supra. It does have a Titan Protune V1 programmer on it and a full turbo back exhaust. We're going to put it in basically a stock programming and see what it does, and then we're going to put the performance tune on it and see what kind of gains we get. First, we need to put the car in a dyno mode. It's a little bit of extensive setup on this thing, but essentially you got to press the start button 3 times really quickly, and then you're going to hold the trip counter in for about 10 seconds, and that's going to give you another menu to be able to choose the chassis dyno mode. Yeah, so that one was 4th, just to try it out to make sure the dyno was feeling fine or whatever. But I do see guys that have tried to do it in 6th and it won't rev it out all the way. So the goal is to do it in 5. So 320 something. Should see a little bit higher this time.
Yeah, that was just stock programming?
Stock programming, yeah. So we're gonna do basically a stock programming run. The first run we did just to test to make sure the car wasn't going to freak out on the dyno. It's the first time having one of these Supras on here, so now we're just basically going to do the same thing, stock programming. We're going to do the run in 5th gear and see what it makes. So, Robbie, can you just make sure that's good? What did it make? I can't see.
Made 335, 371.
Nuts, man.
What?
They're rated 335 factory. Crank.
They're really good.
It's well known that these things are underrated. They are typically dynoing around that stock. So in sport mode, you know, the exhaust is definitely helping a bit, but we should see pretty substantial jumps with the tune on now.
Awesome.
Start the vehicle. Make lots of racket. So now we're going to put it into our chip tune program, which is basically a file to match the upgrades that's on the car. And on this thing, it's just basically a turbo back exhaust. You ready, Freddie?
Ready?
Okay, let's do it. Now we're going to bring it up to 5th gear.
Something's not right.
Why?
It made 224 horsepower, but
really?
400 and some foot-pounds of torque.
It looks like you lost
tax signal.
Yeah.
Right around $3,000, it like paused.
So we'll have to check that. Maybe it's the white. Could be. Maybe it's the white is a signal on it, right? Well, the brown is probably brown. It goes right to the head, right? Yeah. All right, we're going.
.386.
What torque?
428. A lot of torque.
A lot of torque. So stock was 335 wheel, 370 torque. And then with the programmer on it, we got 386 and 428. So a substantial difference. And they're saying that it's like $1,000 to do the downpipe and the programmer on this thing. So it's a lot of power to be had for $1,000, that's for sure. 1,000 Canadian bucks too.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, it's a good power increase, like through 3,500 ohms. I mean, it's a steady incline the whole time.
I mean, there's power to be had everywhere. And keep in mind, this is 91 octane, so it's a little aggressive for what we have for fuel here, but it's still making tons of power. So that's it. We got another one to come. Next up, we got a 2017 Mustang GT. It just has bolt-ons, intake, 1 7/8 headers, and catback exhaust. It does have a remote tune on it. They're not really sure what it's going to make for power, so we're going to find out right now. So what to make?
322 and 265.
322, 265. What do you think, Clayton?
Pretty good.
I don't know what these are supposed to make. So.
322, 365.
365? 265.
No, 265, sorry.
Yeah.
And did it shift though?
It shifted at the very end.
At the very, okay.
That's why I don't think you see it on the graph. Just finished eating some more Timbits.
Race fuel.
That's how I keep this figure. So we're gonna try another run here with this thing. First run I think did 325. We're just trying to figure out, it's an automatic, so we're just trying to figure out the transmission, trying to keep it in gear and stuff. It did seem okay during that run, but we're going to give it a couple more pulls to see what we can get out of it. It was in a lower gear.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So what's the time? Hold on, my phone's ringing.
390 and 367.
Yeah, so the first run, I mean, it was just strictly due to the gearing.
Yeah. And then what gear was that?
I was able to hold it though in gear that time. It was 4th gear.
The line is hilarious. It's almost identical.
393?
Yep.
What to make for torque?
A little more. One more torque. One more torque.
Yeah, one more torque.
One more torque.
2 to make it true, bud.
Yeah.
So next up we got a R33. What year is it?
95.
95 GTR. Pretty heavily modified. It's modified, so I'm gonna let Greg tell us the scoop of what is in it. So engine, turbo setup, fueling, as much as you can.
It's got a built bottom end, built head, Manley valves, turbo setups, Centerline Motorsports, single turbo manifold, turbos in S471 Borg Warner. It's got a full 4-inch exhaust. It's got 2 fuel pumps in the trunk, dash 8 feed and return lines, 1000cc injectors, and 1500 cc's of meth. And we're running around 30 psi right now. The injectors are pretty close to.
And still on pump gas?
Still on pump gas, yeah. But we're running straight methyl hydrate, 1500 cc's, 2 jets.
Yeah, and tranny?
Tranny stock. It's got a Clutch Masters twin disc 850. Okay. It's good for like 1500 horsepower.
Okay. I don't want to put you on the spot to say what you think it's going to get, so we'll just have to see in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you're revving this bitch to 8,500.
Something like that.
Okay, cool.
I just turned it up another 2%.
Okay, cool.
You're happy with that?
Yeah.
This is how you run it on the street and everything?
Yep.
Nothing changed?
Nothing's changed.
Nothing?
I just had to turn the duty up a little more because there's no load on the dyno.
Yeah, so it made 702, as you've probably seen already, 530 torque. He's going to bump the boost up just a little bit more, a couple percent, right? And see what it can make this time. Still, again, 91 with lots of meth injection. That brakes on the drum. Look at So there we go, Clayton. 702, first run, less heat. Tried a little bit more boost, but I wasn't liking it. So 700 horsepower street car, like legit street car. So pretty serious, man. Well built.
Thanks.
Nice work. Okay, so that's it for today. We did a couple cars, as you've seen. R33 GTR made 700, and Ford Mustang GT. Just did like 395, I think, Clayton?
Yeah, around there, 392, 390. Well, it's in
395, I think.
It's in the video.
It's in the video, yeah. And a new Supra, new Supra, which, as you can tell, and if you do some Googling online, you'll see that, Googling online.
On the internet.
On the internet, you'll see that those are like definitely underrated compared to what their Toyota claims. They're all typically doing around that stock, and then obviously with the upgrades, it's producing pretty good power for very little money.
Crazy torque.
Yeah, and crazy torque, yeah. So that's going to end it for this one. A little bit different, obviously. It's getting a little bit nicer here, so we're probably going to have some more race car content and more cars showing up on the dyno as spring rolls on. But until the next video, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, ask them below. The steering wheel's crazy. It's got like lights in it and Look, there's a little Formula 1 car on there. Is this a Formula 1 car? So many buttons. And actually,